I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
When one Van Damme just isn't enough, you get double the muscles from Brussels. You get double impact. As we've already established here, the 80s and 90s were the heyday of the R-rated action star. While Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone were the undisputed kings of the genre, towards the end of the 80s, some challengers to the throne started to make their presence known. Over at Warner Brothers, there was Steven Seagal. Much more on him later. But the biggest studio in town as far as action movies go, if far from the most prestigious, was Canon Films. With their never-ending slate of B action movies, they made stars out of guys like Chuck Norris and Michael Dudikoff. But they never struck gold quite the way they did in 1988 with the muscles from Brussels, Jean-Claude Van Damme, whose fight flick, Bloodsport, was a sleeper hit they would have been able to parlay into a series of action flicks, had the company not gone under shortly after his last film for them, Cyborg. In many ways, the decline of Canon was the best thing that could have happened to Van Damme, or JCVD as he became known, with him being able to easily finance a slew of low-budget but highly profitable martial arts films like Kickboxer, Death Warrant, and finally Lionheart, which got picked up by Universal Pictures for a mainstream release, thoroughly changing his career. The time had come for JCVD to plant his flag as a legit A-list star in a mainstream action vehicle that would introduce him to a wider audience, and thus begins the story of Double Impact. The film was a production of the Stone Group, which was actually run by Michael Douglas, if you can believe it, and produced a few small-scale action flicks like Stone Cold and The Joshua Tree, starring another action icon and future JCVD co-star, Dolph Lundgren. It was the brainchild of Sheldon Lettich, who had written Bloodsport, helped re-edit, or some would say salvage, Cyborg, and also wrote and directed Lionheart. JCVD himself co-wrote the screenplay, which called for him to play dual roles, twin brothers Alex and Chad. In the film, Chad and Alex are the sons of a British land developer who's double-crossed by his crooked partner, Nigel Griffith, who's in lead with a triad crime boss named Raymond Zhang, who has a hulking bodyguard played by none other than Van Damme's old Bloodsport sparring partner, Bolo Young. Bolo executes their folks, but the day is saved by their dad's old non-vet partner, Frank, who saves one of the children, Chad, and raises him as his own in California. The other child, Alex, is saved by the boy's nanny and is raised in a Hong Kong orphanage. For some reason, of course, all grown up they both speak with heavy Belgian accents. Chad is a soft ladies' man, down with giving private aerobics lessons, while Alex is a tough-as-nails smuggler in Hong Kong. Frank reunites the pair to take down Griffith and Zhang. In terms of early Van Damme, Double Impact is likely his best film. While silly, Lettich was really the perfect director for JCVD, knowing exactly how to use him. With Chad, he gives JCVD a chance to be a little looser than usual, which was important as back then he was being sold as a heartthrob, as ladies were going nuts for the chiseled Frenchman. Some of his humor is even intentional, although JCVD's line readings are suspect at times.
Hong Kong? Uncle Frankie, get real, man. I mean, we can't just cut out for 2 weeks. We got a business to run.
Also, Lettich likes to show off Van Damme's ass. A lot.
Because of my big legs and karate, I can do the splits no problem.
As Alex, he's tougher. More like the badass Van Damme audiences like to see at the time. Jeffrey Lewis, as their mentor, is an old pro after being part of Clint Eastwood's stock company for years and is a good foil. The villains are a mixed bag. Alan Scarf and Philip Chan as Zhang are fine, although the menace belongs to Bolo Yeung, who has 2 memorable fights with Chad. The Hong Kong locations are nifty, and also gotta love a tacked-on love scene. There's a good one here with the beautiful Alana Shaw as the brothers' mutual love interest. The film was a box office success, grossing $30 million domestically, but then another $50 million worldwide, all on a $15 million budget. It was enough of a hit that the budgets on Van Damme's films increased, with Universal Soldier kicking off arguably his heyday. Van Damme's success with Double Impact was, ironically, a double-edged sword. While it temporarily catapulted him out of simply being an action movie star, he kept being put in movies where he had a double. Films such as Time Cop, Maximum Risk, and Replicant followed, and the effect was lessened each time.
Look like me? You of all people should know I would never in my life wear black silk underwear. Wait.
A Double Impact sequel nearly happened a few years ago, but fell apart when the rights from MGM couldn't be secured for cheap. If the movie hadn't done so darn well, it might have been easier. Looks like 2 Van Dammes packed too much of a punch for his own good. Double Impact gets a 7 out of 10 Stallones.